What's going on, everybody? Kalipaz Tech here, coming back at you with another video. In this video, I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks for the Cricket Icon 4 that you might not know about. Now, before we go any further, as always, I do want to remind you to hit the subscribe button. And if you want to learn more about this phone, I will be linking to several other videos about it in the description, as well as some information about pricing, availability, and some of my favorite smartphone accessories. But with that being said, let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to show or hide your battery percentage in the status bar. Now, as you can see up here, by default, the battery percentage is here. And on one hand, this can be nice because it does give you an idea of where you're at battery-wise. But at the same time, as you can see, there's really a lot of stuff up here. So if you want to make your status bar look a little bit more minimalistic, you might want to hide it instead. So to do this, what you're going to do is go to Settings. From here, go to Battery. And as you can see, again, by default, battery percentage is going to be on, but of course, if you want, you can always toggle it off. And now, as you can see, the battery percentage is no longer there. But that being said, keep in mind, if you do want things to look a little bit more minimalistic like this, but you still want to know your battery life from time to time, even when it's not up here, all you have to do to see it is simply pull down the shade, and it will be here no matter what. Now, while we're in the battery menu, I want to talk about the battery saver. Now, this probably isn't something you're going to be using all the time, or even very often for that matter. But if you're in a situation where maybe you're running low on battery, but you want to make sure your phone stays on a bit longer, with the battery saver, you can limit some of the functions on your phone, and this is going to help preserve the battery life. So if we turn this on, as you can see, we are now in dark mode. And in addition to putting the phone in dark mode, the battery saver also limits a lot of background activity and stuff like animation. Now, of course, again, you're probably not going to be using this too often, and it's definitely not something you're going to want to keep on when you don't need it, because in order to extend the battery life, it does slow the performance down. And seeing as this phone is pretty slow as it is, that's probably something you're not going to want to do. That being said though, as you can see here by default, when you turn on the battery saver and then you charge your phone back up to 90% or more, it will automatically turn off, so you won't have to worry about forgetting to turn it off yourself. In addition to this, if you want, you can also set it to turn on automatically. So for example, you can have it turn on at 5%. To me, that is pretty low. I would do like 20% or something. But as you can see, when it's set like this means the battery saver is automatically going to turn on when the phone reaches 20% battery. So if you're not always around a charger, this is definitely a great feature to have. Now I'm going to show you a quick way to open your camera. Now, of course, using the camera app on the home screen is easy enough, but if you're doing something else on your phone and you want to capture something quickly in the moment, all you have to do is double press the power key like this, and it's going to open right up. Let's try that one more time, this time on an app. There we go. And one final time, this time with the display locked. And there we go. So as you can see, definitely real convenient there. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to customize your quick menu. Now, in case you don't know, the quick menu is basically this right here. As you can see, there are a lot of features on here, but you might find that you don't really need everything up here. So I'm going to show you how to customize it. Now, this is really easy. What you're going to want to do is hit the pencil icon right here. And on the screen, the top portion is going to show you everything you currently have on the menu. And under this line right here, this is everything else you can add. So if you want to remove something, press and hold on the icon. Drag it to the other side. And there we go. And to add something, do the same thing. So press and hold. Drag it up. And that's pretty much it. And to save your changes, simply hit the back button. And that's pretty much it. In addition to this, if you ever want to reset it to the default, go back to the edit screen. Hit the dots up here, and hit reset. And now as you can see, it's back to the default. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to disable the Google feed. Now in case you don't know what this is, basically when you swipe like this, you're going to get this news feed, and while some people might actually find it useful, I'm personally just really not a big fan. So if you ever do want to disable it, what you're going to want to do is press and hold a finger on any blank spot on the home screen. So like this. From here, go to Home Settings. And from this menu, as you can see right here, where it says Show Google App, turn this off. And now when you go back to the home screen, the Google feed is no longer going to be on. The next thing I'm going to show you is a feature called Adaptive Brightness. Now this feature is going to do pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's basically going to automatically adjust the brightness of your display based on your environment. So if you're in a really bright area, it's going to brighten your display to make it easier to see. But if you're in a darker area, it's going to do the opposite. So to get to this feature, what you're going to do is go to Settings. From here, go to Display. From here, Adaptive Brightness is right here. And once you turn it on, it's going to automatically adjust. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to end a call with the power button. Now by default, it's not going to do this, but the feature is actually pretty easy to turn on. To get to it, go to Settings. From here, go to Accessibility. So right here. And from the Accessibility menu, go to where it says Interaction Controls. So right here, from this section, go to System Controls. And as you can see, again by default, power button ends call is off, so turn it on. And now, whenever you want to end a call, all you have to do is press the power button, and it's going to end. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to get to your NFC settings. Now this is one surprisingly cool thing about this phone. Despite being such an affordable entry-level phone, this phone actually does have NFC, so you can actually use tap and pay. These settings are probably not something you're going to have to mess with a whole lot, but in case you ever do, what you're going to do is go to settings. From here, go to connected devices. From this menu, go to connection preferences. From here, go to NFC. And this is pretty much it. As you can see here, NFC will be on by default, so if you ever want to turn it off, you can always toggle it off here. And in addition to this, if you go to contactless payments, you can also choose your payment default. Now I'm going to show you how to make a screen recording with the Cricut Icon 4. So the first thing you're going to do is pull down the shade twice, so 1, 2. From here, find the button that says Screen Record Start. So for me, it's on the second page, so right here. It's going to have a couple different settings. So the first one is for audio. By default, it's going to be set to device audio. So if you're recording maybe a video, a game, something like that. But if we hit the drop down, you can also use the microphone or device audio and the microphone. And of course, if you don't want sound at all, you can just leave this button off. But of course, if you do want any kind of sound, you do need to turn this on. In addition to this, show touches on the screen is basically going to make a little cursor wherever you touch. So we're going to turn this on. After this, hit start. There's going to be a countdown. And now we're recording, so you can do whatever you want. There's the cursor right there. And when you're done, go ahead and hit stop. And as you can see, it's saved right to your photos. And finally, the last thing I'm going to show you is how to use split screen. Now this is definitely a real easy feature to use, but it's also kind of easy to miss. So to use this feature, the first thing you're going to want to do is open the app you want to have on top. So for example, we're going to do Chrome. From here, go to your recent apps. From this screen, press and hold on the icon, so like this. Hit split screen. And now you can select whatever other app you want. And now as you can see, we are in split screen. If you want to make one larger, you can drag this bar. And to get out of it, you can drag it either all the way up or all the way down. But this concludes my tips and tricks video for the Cricut Icon 4. Again, if you want to learn more about this phone, I will be linking to several other videos about it in the description, as well as some information about pricing, availability, and some of my favorite smartphone accessories. But that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it and found it useful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to follow Kalipus Tech on Twitter and Instagram. And as always, I will see you in the next video.